All right, so I thought of teaching us on how to take proper and accurate measurements using this mannequin. For example, so for those of us that were interested in basic bodies pattern, I thought we should understand the how to take accurate and proper measurement first before we go into the drafting of the bodies pattern. So as you can see on the, I use this marking tape to indicate the basic places that we should be mindful. Every other part is important when taking measurement, but these are the basic parts that we should be mindful of. So you can see here, I have the bust line. The bust line here is around the fullest part of the bust. You can see the bust line. Here is the chest line. Here is the chest line. And here is the under bust line. The under bust line is directly under your breast, under your bust. And then you have the waistline. And then the waistline, if you look at the human body, your body is not straight. Your body is contoured. So there is a place around your ribs. Your ribs start around up here and then come down and then there where they end. So for a female, for your clothes or for your dress to fit and snatch properly, you have your waistline has to be under your last rib. You count your ribs, so where you cannot feel the bone on your ribs again, that is where your waistline is when taking your measurement. So that is the waistline. I am referring to those who doesn't have a big tummy, for those who have flat tummy, and that is why for some persons, bringing their waistline to the boneless part of their waist will not really work for them. It will not give them the proper fitting because they have big tummy and their waistline, the boneless part of their waist is around on top of their tummy. So by the time you make a dress for them, putting that line there, it doesn't sit properly on their body, it doesn't look nice. So when taking those measurement for those kind of people, you will be mindful and then sometimes seek their consent where they want the waistline to feel, or as a designer you look at their body form and then there are some styles you would suggest they don't do it, they don't make those styles because of their body formation. So now for somebody that have a flat tummy, I am taking this measurements, I'm teaching us this measurement in that regard. So this is the waistline from where this, we assume that this is the boneless part of the body, and then from here is your hip line, and then the hip line is the fullest part of your hip. That is where your hip is, and that is where your hip measurement should be taken. So first, and then another thing is that when taking a client's measurement, don't stand directly in front of them, stand beside them. Don't stand directly in front of them, you stand by their side. And then first you take their measurements, like their shoulder. So taking their shoulder, here you have your tape passing from here, not here. Your tape passing from around here. There's a bone here, this is your collarbone. Your tape passing from around there and coming to this bone, your shoulder bone. There's a shoulder bone here. Coming from here to the left side of your shoulder bone, you have your tape like this. This shoulder bone this side to this shoulder bone this side. Then you have your shoulder measurements. So now, since I have turned this mannequin like this, you can see at the back we have back width, then we have the back length. For some reasons, or if you look at some dresses, some of us have these challenges that when we make dresses, they don't align and sit at the back properly. There is this bulging at the back. When you fix zip, your zip is protruding outside like this. So it's because you did not, the half length did not sit properly on your back length, the position of your back length. And then where is your back length supposed to be? Your back length is supposed to be at the deepest part of your back. everybody have different position where the deepest part of their back is. So your back length is at the deepest part of your back. So for this dummy, let's assume at this position is the deepest part of the dummy's back, which it might not be the same point with the waistline. For some persons is on the same point, for some person is an inch, 2 inch or 1.5 inch above their waistline. It depends on individual body difference. So now after taking your shoulder, you will take your back width. So the back width is from around this place to this place, around your here, the back part of your arm here, around this place to the other side. So but basically sometimes some people go with this standard of 1 inch minus 1 inch from your shoulder. For instance, if your shoulder is 17, you now take 1 inch out and make your back back width 16. That is if so for somebody whose shoulder is 17, your back width will be 16. But some persons, they will prefer to measure it. If you know the proper place to measure it, you measure, or you just take 1 inch off your shoulder to get your back width. So your back width is from here to here. So another thing, then now let's go to the back length. The back length is that this collar bone here. If you can try to trace it from your body, you see that you feel the first one, you feel the second one. So it's at the second bone. You place your tip on the second collar bone, on the second bone, not the first one. You place on the second collar bone, then you bring it down to the deepest part of your back, where your back is deep, is deeper than every other part of your back. You place it there. That is your back length. So now coming back to the front, you now have your bust. So your bust is the fullest part of your bust. That is how you put measure your bust. And then when measuring your bust, don't put you measure your bust like this. Don't put 2 fingers. For a well-fitted dress, maybe you can just put only, don't put fingers inside your tape. Remove your fingers and let the tape be like this. See the way I'm holding my tape, let the tape be like this. Don't put your finger inside. If you're putting your finger, you are adding the size of the bust. You can do it. And then here is your chest line. You can measure your chest line. You can measure it this. You can measure it like this, and then when you get that, this is your chest line, and then this is your bust, and then you place your tape here to get your bust point and your under bust, and even your length, your waistline. This is where you don't place your tape here. You place your tape close to your neck, close to your neck here at this point like this, here like this, not down here. You don't bring your tape down, you put it around, you place it around here, and then you get your bust point like this, exactly on your nipple. You get it like that, and then you bring it down to your under bust, directly under your bust. Don't add half an inch or a little bit, directly under your bust. Another important thing is that when taking measurement, make sure the person is wearing a well-fitted bra. A bra that sits very well on their bulk or on their bust, not a bra that is sagging. So at the end of it, you make the dress. The day they come to pick the dress, they are wearing a bra that pack their bust, their boobs very well, and then you have issues with fittings. You're not supposed to have issues with fitting if the person is wearing a proper bra. If the person is not wearing a proper bra, it's okay to cancel the meeting and reschedule another time for the measurement, because that will affect your work. But if the measurement is, if the bra the person is wearing is well fitted and you follow what you took on the tape while sewing, you will not have a problem. So now you take your under bust. Take your under bust this way, and then placing your hand under your bust. After you get the under bust, you indicate it. Placing your bust under your hand under your bust, you will now take your waist measurement. That is your waistline. And then another thing is that by the time you get the place of that your under your waistline, for like for corsets or for well snatched dresses, it's not only corsets that can be snatched. Your normal fitted dresses can be snatched too. So when taking your measurement, after you were able to identify the boneless part of your waist, you use a rope and tie at that point. Tie a rope at that point where you notice that is the boneless part. Tie it like that and let it remain. Then you now take your measurement from your shoulder to the part, the where that point where your tape is tied, the lower part of where the rope is tied. That is where you take your waistline. So after taking this waistline measurement here, you can now, for a long dress, you can still maintain that hand placing under here. Come like this, take it down to the length wherever you want your length to be. So that's for the waistline. And then coming to the hip area, you take your tape across the hip like so. You take it like this. Don't keep it like this and then bend your tape. No, let it be round across the hip at the fullest part of your hip, and then you put a finger or two. Here is allowed to put a finger or two inside, and make sure your tape is rolling like so, like this. Roll your tape like so. Don't place it at a spot and leave it there. You will have issues with fitting. It might not, the person wearing it might not feel free while they sit and get up. There won't be ease. So you have to be moving your hand like so, maybe with a finger or two, depending on how free or the kind of the size of ease you want to add to the hip area. And that is it. So coming to your length all depends on what the customer wants, or the kind of outfit you are making for your hip length. You can take it like this. So if it's a blouse that will not be long, you stop at that, but make sure your hand is placed under the bust. Then you can continue to get your length. And then for a dress, there's something I want to add. For making a dress, for us to get your gore point at a dress, for a fitted, maybe for pencil dress or even man-made dresses, when you want to get your gore point, you place your tape here at that point where you tie the rope, the lowest part of your waistline, that is the boneless part of your waistline. You place your tape at that point and then take it down to the nail point. Take it down to the nail and get your nail length from your waistline to your nail length. Get it that point, and then you go up by 3 or by 4 inches, depending on how high you want the fitting of your gore length to be indicated. But most of the time, some persons go with 4 and 3. So now is, for instance, for this dummy, we have the knee length is 24 or 23 and a half, rather 23 and a half. So I'll now minus 4 from 23 and a half, or 3 from 23 and a half. What I will get, that will be the gore length or gore point. So I think basically that is it for basic body measurement. These are the points where you should take note while taking your measurements. They are very, very important. Even for just a simple fitted dress, those points are very, very important to note them while taking measurements. Remember your back width, your length, your back length, how to get a proper point to get your waistline, and then your bust, your chest line, and then your apex to apex, as your nipple to nipple. Your nipple, that is your bust span. from nipple to nipple. Don't forget that. Always take note of that measurement. It will help. Even in inserting your dart, you must use this. You need that for your the insertion of your dart. That is where you take and insert your dart.